They pop corn. They pop culture. It's the Lowdown.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the latest installment of the Lowdown Popcast. I am the voice of PCW, the voice of Demons Football, and one-third ownership of the hottest wrestling promotion in the Mid-Atlantic, PCW, Elliot Popston. And to my right is the founder and second-third of ownership of the hottest wrestling promotion in the Mid-Atlantic, PCW, owner and agent of Flyer Float Travel, where you can book your dream getaway at flyerfloattravel.com. Host of the curator of Spirits for Shane, can sell ice to an Eskimo, New York's greatest export, Shane Dorr.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Oh, man, it's good. It's Tuesday. Ready to get this thing rolling.
Let's do it.
And to our left is seven-time fantasy football champion, podcast enthusiast, soon to be Kevin Nash's favorite podcaster, just like his favorite wrestler. He's been known to outwork everyone with his self-proclaimed hottest Funko Pop collection. Not your average wrestling mark and huge Jeff Jarrett fan.
Mm-hmm.
Third ownership with PCW Handbook, Jonathan Winburn. Showtime, Jonathan Winburn.
There you go.
There it is.
What's going on, man?
Showtime.
So,
Yeah,
real quick,
the bad thing is I have it written right here and still forgot to read it.
real quick, because Elliot brought it up. It won't take long. So I have 5 episodes into Jeff Jarrett's podcast. I'm a huge fan.
Shout out to Ethan Case for recommending this one.
Yep, I told him I'd get through 4.
Uh-huh.
I'm on 5, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
What? That's a big change from episode 1.
I said episode 1 was good.
Yeah, but I didn't think you would.
I love
about
the podcast. I'm still not sold on Jarrett. He's got a great mind for the business, but
That's nice. That's nice to say.
True.
True.
I still love to hate him.
Okay, that's good. That's good too. Does his job right.
Yeah.
So-
we haven't gotten into the creative aspects of TNA yet. So
Well,
we haven't got
more
to
about
my
this
worst
podcast. So what's kind of been give us a synopsis a little bit and walk us through, like, I don't know, give us some highlights.
So far they're kind of going in like chronological order. Well, most of them. So the first episode was about Jarrett holding up Vince for money in 1999 and leaving after that to go to WCW. So that was the whole thing. That was kind of neat. I mean, the term hold up was, they used that for the podcast. That was like what the rumors were, but the story wasn't, like Jarrett was like, I didn't really hold him up. Like, I just didn't really offer him a contract. He was like, I did the job and Vince knew I would, and I was out. But it was about like they owed him money, like back stuff. And he was like, they took it, instead of having them write a check from the WWE account, he was like, no, I want the check from the arena so that they can't cancel it after the show.
You know what's so funny?
It was Sunday. He was like, no banks are open. Like, I'm not gonna be able to cash the check tonight. So if they write the check, they could just cancel it in the morning. And then he was like, so he made sure he got it from the gate, not from WWE.
It's so crazy though, but the term hold up.
Smart.
Yeah, I'm genius because he's a genius. I think he's a genius. The term hold up is not just been with Jarrett though, but I've heard like talk about with the Warrior and McMahon too. So it's just interesting to hear that term.
I mean, Austin did it.
Right.
But
it's like a thing.
So the second episode was more about him going to WCW and Vince buying WCW and firing him in the very first segment of
Oh, that was so sad.
Nitro/Raw.
So that wasn't expected.
No, he said that he was like, well, he singled me out. Like, I thought we were going to run a program. He was like, and then
Sure did, pal.
Never said
He
anything
singled him
after that. The third episode was where it kind of went out of order as far as chronologically, but the whole third episode was about Owen Hart, and it was fantastic, beginning to end. And then the fourth episode was about World Wrestling All Stars, which is what, like, the precursor to TNA, like kind of what made him lean into doing TNA. They did a tour in Australia and UK, and then like a couple of shows in the US. And then the fifth episode's about how TNA started. The like episodes 5 through 8 are all about TNA start. So I'm like halfway through episode 5.
King of the Mountain.
Well, that's good. They're keeping you into it, man. So are they all like an average of 2.5 to 3 hours long?
First one was like over 3, and I was like, that's
a lot of
That's
listening.
a lot of listening.
Pilot.
And then the like 2 through 4, 2 through 5 have been like 2 hours and 20 something minutes. But I've had a lot of driving in the last 2 weeks, so it's been nice. It's helped bypass some of the time.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, you started your new job.
Yeah, I did this week, day 2.
It's only second day. Only second day. You liking your new schedule?
Very much so. So I wasn't, I've never really had a Monday through Friday job consistently. I have to like construction like 10 years ago. But I've had the weekends off for like last 3 weeks just by whether it be vacation or
Quitting the job.
old job, just kind of trying to keep me in, just the way the schedule worked out. But this past weekend it felt really nice because there's not been a lot of, between me and the wife, there's not been a lot of like spontaneous stuff. It's always like if I was off on the weekend, it was always because I requested it off for us to do something, not just to like, hey, let's get up and do this. We had kind of thought about going shopping and stuff, and we just got up Saturday, and it wasn't like we were in a rush. We got up, did whatever, then went shopping, like had dinner. And it was just nice to go at our own pace without being like, man, I had to plan this 3 weeks ahead of time. We just decided like Friday that we were gonna go to town and do stuff, which was really nice. So it was like, it made me feel good about what's to come, about just being able to plan things.
It's good
going forward.
Long weekends. Yep.
Biggest excitement is trying to plan out. I've already decided I'm going to at least 2 Carolina games. I try to go to WrestleCade.
No, there's no try. It's happening.
Okay.
Tracy Myers.
For sure. I mean, I'm going. I'm just,
I'm definitely going. My wife's he's definitely going. It's his kid's birthday. He ain't missing that.
I didn't know if somebody was going to be listening. So I was trying to
we're going 100%. This is the year.
Yeah.
I've complained for years about that retail environment and not being able to get off Black Friday or that Thanksgiving Day or whatever, let alone the weekend. So now we got everything else.
I knew I was 100% in. I just, I just wasn't sure who was listening. Yeah.
Oh, we're
cat's out the bag now, I guess.
Oh yeah, 100% in. Going.
Yeah, we plan on surprising Asher with that.
Oh. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah. Put the pieces together.
Well, folks, we do not rehearse these shows. They are okay. Well,
oh yeah, I forgot. He probably listens to this.
He's probably not live.
Surprise!
Maybe. Yeah. All right. Well,
it's a good.
There's a chance we're going.
Well, you can tell which one of us has kids that are a little older now and has been through this a little bit.
All right. There's a chance we might not go. It's up in the air.
It's a good problem to have.
But no, I have. It's been nice to just think about things schedule wise in the coming up, just to be like like knowing what it's going to be. I mean, everything happens on the weekend, so I mean it's me and my wife first started dating. She's a teacher, so we would chaperone prom the first couple of years, get dressed up. It was kind of date night, but something fun for us to do. I just haven't been able to do it the last few years, but prom is this weekend, and we have plans to go out there. And
it all started with PCW.
Go there, so
I'll tell you, man.
Well, I had
the job's been fantastic so far.
I had an interview today.
Yeah, I heard, dude. You told me about it. I was excited. How'd it go? Hired on the spot?
No.
Close.
So
Oh,
I get there.
come back for a second interview?
Nope. I get there and I meet the guy.
Well, you could go ahead and name the name, but you can name the position.
I went to audition and interview for a public address announcer for a baseball team. That is somewhat.
By the way, he hates baseball.
Yeah, I hate baseball. By the way,
I didn't put that 2 and 2 together, but
that makes it great.
But I love public address announcing. So I go there. I walk through the gate, and he's like, "Remind me of the position you're here to interview for and stuff." I said, "Public address announcer."
Yeah.
He's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah."
Nice.
He said, "Uh-huh."
Okay. This is good.
I said,
he was scouting you.
Yeah. He said, "Yeah, we've already filled that position."
Stop. He said at the time.
he said, yeah, we already filled that position. I said, really? He said, yeah, they
Were these open interviews?
He said they hired like the second guy that they that put in for it.
Oh my God.
I said, well, that'd been good to know.
Before I drove an hour.
I said, he said, what'd you fill out? I said, the Google form that you guys sent.
They sent you the thing to fill out.
I said, and it asked me 3 positions you'd be interested in. And I put public address announcer, public address announcer, public address announcer.
Okay.
I said, so
you think they would have called you and tell you, like, hey, sir, I know you applied for this position.
he said, man, I hate you drove out here. He said, someone else applied the same thing, and we sent him an email, told him it was filled. I said, it doesn't help me.
Okay.
So
well, hopefully they gave you some sort of
so then I was
compensation.
So then I was like, just curious, what does this position pay?
How often is it? Every game?
So it's June, July. Every game. He says $8 an hour. I said,
you could afford me anyway. That's $8 an hour. I don't even go out my bed.
I said he said $8 an hour. I said,
that's barely minimum wage.
how many hours is that? He said, get here at 5:30, probably here about 10:30. So about 5. I said
$40 a day.
So then he's like, he said,
I mean,
what? That's awful.
In the arms of...
Are you trying to justify that's good?
I mean, it was more than some jobs.
What jobs? I'm lost. I must be left out of some.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
it did pay. It did pay better than what I was used to as an announcer for sure. But I've turned over a new leaf, Jonathan.
I got you.
Wait a freaking minute. No. You were like $25 an hour.
Yeah.
You only do 2 hours of work.
Nope.
Yes.
Wrong.
Your
again.
math is wrong. Your math is awful. Not talking about this. I'm talking about previously.
I was not. No, I was.
No.
That was $25. Period.
That wasn't me. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it was. But I helped negotiate a better. So $12.50. What do you mean?
No, it was no
2 hours, bro.
No.
The show's 2 hours.
No.
Oh,
The game's not 5.
huh?
The game's not 5.
Yeah, but you're
prep
still there
work.
5 hours.
Yeah, because the prep work, just like I was.
You weren't at PCW for 5 hours.
Lies. I get there around 2 p.m., 3 p.m. every single show.
You didn't. You didn't.
He
Roll-
did on the shows that I went to.
Well,
Just
that was
saying.
because you were there. You wanted to say hi.
He didn't know I was going to be there
Oh,
that
well.
early.
All right, whatever. On to the next topic, guys.
But the funny
I turned over a new leaf.
the funny thing
Yeah,
about
with ownership badge now. He's like, I'm making sure.
the funny thing about the story was because I was on my way to work. Elliot calls me and he was like, we were just chit chatting. He was like, yeah,
Chris Evans, shut up.
He was like, I'm on the way to this interview. So we were talking about the whole interview. We talked for a good bit. And he's like, well, I'm here. He was like, I'll talk to you later. I mean, it was like we hadn't even been off the phone. Like,
Dude, it was 9 o'clock. 9:07. I was in my car calling.
I was like, it was
Oh,
only
that
like a
is-
few minutes later, and the phone's ringing again. I was like, what? I thought he said he had an interview, and he was like, well, that was quick. And then he tells me the story, and I was like, bro, they made you drive.
I would have gotten season pass.
I was like,
out
they
of the
could have
deal.
got you tickets or something.
Oh yeah.
Nah,
Awful.
So
Something,
the guy wasn't the most socially inept guy to begin with.
Was he Gen Z?
He was very, very socially awkward.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, but when he said $8 an hour, I was like, nah, dude. I mean, I can't pull my jock strap up for that much.
Well, roll out of bed.
You know why? Never mind.
Well,
Heck, I get paid more than that at Lugoff Elgin for a high school football game.
I would hope so. $8 an hour, dude. Sir,
It would
They're paying-
look good on your resume though.
All right, it don't look that good. No.
Sir, I passed the Taco Bell on the way in. They're $11.
Yeah, I'm putting in my resignation.
Oh my Lord!
I'm gonna go to Taco Bell and work.
Jonathan looks at things half full. You know, it makes the resume look good. Not that good.
Not that good. It's okay. But yeah, hey Billy, you're right.
I'm glad you're still here.
McDonald's pays more an hour. Chick-fil-A's $13 an hour.
I mean, Bucky pays like 3 times that.
Buc-ee's,
Bro, listen, you don't know how many times I've been looking at trying to get on at Buc-ee's.
I've heard nightmares that like the work experience there is awful. The money's good, but like, I mean, $35 an hour, but they work you to death.
DEAF. You can't hear.
Death. I looked at the turnover rate. The turnover rate's like 40%.
That don't even sound attractive.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Cat Williams. He's funny.
He is funny.
Oh man.
I like doing a Friday after next.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's funny.
Pimpin'.
Money Mike. Donna!
Oh.
Donna! You hear me?
Hello, we were doing next Friday quotes today at work, actually. It's a good one. Definitely quotable.
Oh yeah.
So what we got, Bill? What we got?
I mean, so got a couple things to get into. Triple H revealed made a revelation. Made a revelation on WWE Raw last night.
That was on the level of a Tony Khan announcement.
Well, so honestly, I think that they were. But no, I think they were playing on Tony Khan because it was like Triple H just got this.
He's gonna rock the foundation.
It was awful, and of course, the impeccable timing of the name of the announcement, the groundbreaking announcement, and of course, you're seeing CM Punk's on site too. So it's like, okay,
we'll get into that. That was still a little.
Let's. I mean, we could throw it all together, but in culmination, combining those two things was like, okay, well, wait a minute here. So what is happening?
So
I've been
that belt was
strictly on the fact that there's no way Punk was going anywhere. But when the report, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Like, I mean, I wasn't like, oh, he's looking at going back or whatever. I was just like, well, that's interesting. Like, I mean, different, just not what I was expecting. And then saw the Triple H announcement. I was like, now I'm questioning a little bit.
I was like, okay, what happened here?
So that right there was the announcement, ladies and gentlemen. The new WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt that would be revealed at Night of Champions as Roman Reigns, whichever brand he gets drafted to, either Friday or Monday.
I hope he wins that belt.
I don't think they said he can go for it.
He'll find a way.
I think he should.
Yes, that'd be great.
Chris Evans says, someone put trash on my screen.
Biggest piece of trash.
Brock can find a way. Roman can find a way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But said, I made it $8 an hour, then I reached puberty and got a real job.
Wow. Okay, bud. There he is.
But that's the announcement that rocked the foundation of WWE.
And it's gonna be one in Jeddah.
But it's also weird because they had announced that the Jeddah show was supposed to be King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring.
They changed that weeks ago.
And they changed it to Night of Champions. But
I didn't even realize they did away with King of the Ring.
Yeah, they completely changed it. They got rid of King of the Ring and they said they were changing it to Night of Champions. But they had already announced it as King of the Ring.
So
that is awful.
So the announcement though was whichever brand Roman Reigns gets drafted to, whether it be SmackDown or Raw, he will remain the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion on that show and on that show only.
So here's the interesting thing I noticed. So the whole draft thing. So obviously everybody's getting drafted.
Correct.
Right. It's not one of those things where back in the day when it first started, there's like 15 rounds.
Or in the word of Miz, correct.
Thank you for that, Elliot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like why does Roman why does anybody have to get drafted? Like it should be a draft. Not everybody's
Right. You shouldn't have to be included.
Right.
It
As soon as they
should just be
said
like-
that, I'm like, oh, that's
Well, see,
ruined.
that's so like back when the draft first started, like the first
Flair
2 or
and
3
McMahon?
drafts and stuff, like it was a good, like a fresh idea. It was good. It was interesting. The longer it went on, the worse
stupid.
it got, because then it was like, well, not everybody's included, or like, we're just,
Oh, the
hey,
supplement drafts.
Each team's got 6 picks, and then they're just like, it's like, okay, well, like think of the top 12 superstars, but then it would be like,
It's a cop out.
mid card talent that was getting drafted, and it was like, I mean, if you only got 6 picks, I mean, you're going for each,
It's a cop out way of storyline writing to really shake things up.
But I did read today that I guess there's rumors, or the thought process is that they made WWE, other than the big 5, Royal Rumble, Mania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank, that they're probably going to go back to show specific pay-per-view or PLEs. So like Raw talent on one pay-per-view, SmackDown talent on one, not having.
But they'll have some where they interfere with one another.
Right. The big 5,
Like a
Survivor Series.
bragging rights.
Survivor Series. War Games.
WrestleMania.
House divided.
Oh, Jesus.
House Rules.
House of Black confirmed.
War Games.
He said that one.
Oh, I hear you.
Battleground.
Oh, Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, man.
Remember that one?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if y'all already talked about this, but when does the Usos get the belts back due to Sammy not going to Night of Champions?
That is interesting. Sammy won't go. Oh, I'm pretty sure they would
Well, they
try and kill him.
announced a tag match for SmackDown where it was the Usos versus Sammy and KO for the belts, like a WrestleMania rematch.
Not in Jeddah.
No, it's just Friday.
SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
Before, I mean,
So they could lose him then. When's the Jeddah pay-per-view? Or what's the term? PLE.
like May 27th, I think.
Okay, so they got time, but yeah, I don't foresee.
I mean, they got the Puerto Rico show first.
Okay.
Backlash.
Are they having all the belts defended in Jeddah? I assume.
I was going to say, well, just because it's Night of Champions don't mean you have to have every belt defended.
I mean, that was always the tagline of Night of Champions. That was
I
always
mean,
the like.
That was the thing. It's like Battle of the Belts.
The
You have all
theme.
the
It's like what?
Huh?
Like what?
Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
Well, not every belt was.
Not every belt's defended on Battle of the Belts.
Oh,
Okay, then
there's
they can
only
get
3
away
belts.
with it.
There's
That's,
only
that's
3
my
belts.
point. That's my point. Whatever, guys. Quit ganging up on me.
Tag team.
Back again.
So talking about the CM Punk thing, we were talking about that. So CM Punk was obviously
I mean, he was there.
he was at Raw.
He was there. He was asked to leave. He left.
Oh, okay, that's the synopsis of the story. But so it was weird. You know how they
It
were
was
not.
very weird.
It was weird. The timing was weird. So
I mean, I don't recall, but back when Punk was doing the Fox show
yes,
for WWE, was there ever anything that he was backstage?
no,
So like to
strictly
me,
a Fox deal.
to me, this was like the first time that I've seen him be backstage.
Remember, he sued him.
since
so,
everything
like-
happened. So I was like, that's kind of
Well,
weird.
I
But
think it's one of those things
sued
that
the
they were
doctor, I
in
think.
Chicago though, and Vince was not around.
that could be it.
But Trip Hunter was there, which is weird to me because there was
And
always
that's apparently who he talked to the most.
that's weird to me. So, all right, was this done to kind of? So, all right, let's back up. CM Punk he didn't hide his face at all. Like he was very, very clearly wanted to be seen.
Side note, that was not him in the video with Tamina.
Huh?
I said, side note, that was not him in the video with Tamina.
I beg to differ.
No, it's not.
I beg to differ.
No, he doesn't have the neck tattoo.
I beg to differ. He was wearing a sweatshirt, Elliot.
It was his neck was exposed.
Yeah,
His neck,
you
his
better go back and watch
tattoo
the
comes like
footage
right
again.
here.
Put up in your phone. But anyway, regardless, he was there. 100% there. Asked to leave, whatever. But he wasn't hiding. He wasn't in hiding. So he's wanting to be seen. Was it just a ploy to draw a little attention to AEW?
So I thought of that too, because I was like, okay, well, like Tony Khan's got this announcement on Wednesday. Like all the rumors and reports have been that Punk's going to be on the Saturday show. The AEW is going to announce the Saturday show. Punk's going to be on it. Show's June 17th from Chicago. which is where, like so I was like, well, the announcement, I mean, June 17th is not that far away. It's like a month and a half. So they're going to announce it that there's going to be a Saturday show. Like they're not going to wait till the week of. Like, so to me, I was like, okay, well, the timing for Tony's announcement could fall in line with that. So maybe they're, like going to have something, a clip or, video or something. And I was like, well, maybe it was super smart of AEW. Like if he did get invited to just be like, hey, go, make sure they know you're there. And then, that just draws up some anticipation, like people just tune in, controversy, like just curiosity. But I mean, it could have also been a ploy by Punk, if he knows, like if his deal's coming up with AEW and he's like, hey, like they're willing to talk. I mean, especially with the fact that they're building a Saturday show potentially around Punk. I mean, he could lever. I mean, it puts, it's like Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. Oof. And he comes out and he's like, hey, WWE's willing to play ball. What are you guys going to do? I mean, then they're going to have to empty out the paycheck.
Yeah, Chris, Vince actually called and had head of security escort Punk out, or asked Punk to leave, I should say. Vince McMahon was not in the building, though.
Who told Vince?
I mean,
could have been a ploy, man.
Or it could have been security. Head of security. Hey, Mr. McMahon, I want to let you know that Phil is here.
He's asking to speak with you. Yeah, it was interesting for sure.
Get him out of here.
Tell him to leave.
We'll probably see. The draft is this weekend. It's Friday. It starts Friday, ends on Monday. Pick number one. Pick number one's going to be Roman Reigns.
CM Punk
or Brock.
Pick number 2
or Cody. Brock,
Cody personality. Punk walks out. I do still think he's AEW bound.
Later, bud.
I think there was some motive of him being there, on AEW side, whether it be him trying to get the leg up in negotiations or
going in there, just doing some scouting. Man, guys, they really.
I mean, him and Cody are. I don't know about
close.
Like
friends,
but some way. I mean, like they were the two. Like when he first came back to AEW, like they were the two that were always in like all the backstage videos.
What if he went
meeting the kids and stuff like that? So
what if he told Cody? Like, what if he went and talked to Cody and asked Cody, "Hey, talk to your boys and ask them to, sit down with me."
I mean, that could be too.
Oh, Paul! Hey, Paul!
What he seen you here?
It was crazy.
I didn't think you'd be here. I see you ditched the long hair. Oh, Chris Evans says he wants his ice cream bars. Very well, could. But
I don't know. His AEW ice cream bar was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were. So recapping Raw, what do you think about Raw last night? I'm gonna be honest. After that, for me, after he made this announcement about the belt, I turned it off.
Well, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I was more intrigued with everything going on. I was like, okay, I gotta watch. We were watching TV, so I had Raw pulled up on my phone so I could kind of see what was going to happen. And then it didn't open the show, so I kind of stopped paying attention to Raw, cut it off, and thought the same thing in the chat. We were like, oh, it's definitely closing the show then. And then luckily I just happened to see, I think you and Billy both said it's like up next in the chat. I was like, oh that's kind of like, it's not closing the show. It wasn't even like 9:00 yet. So I pulled it back up, watched the announcement about the belt, which was extremely disappointing. And then I was like, okay, I'm cutting it off. I didn't watch anymore, so I don't know what else happened.
Fill us in.
But thoughts on the belt?
I've articulated it is
to
awful.
Us, but like, I mean, what do you think? Share it with the peeps.
No, I've said it already
Christian
tonight.
Peeps.
I said it tonight. Trash. Straight up trash.
Christian peeps.
It is awful. It is a straight up mod of big gold with a WWE logo thrown in the middle of it.
Well, so that was
modeled
that
after
was
the UFC championship.
That was immediate. My immediate thought was that it was a smaller
Yes.
version of the big gold belt, like with the WWE logo smacked on the top. And then you shared the UFC belt. And then I looked at obviously the logo placement looks exactly, it's just a big WWE logo. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense with Endeavor and UFC and all that. But then I started looking at the design of the UFC belt.
The
and I was like,
curvatures.
I mean, they pretty much designed the UFC belt after the big gold belt is what it looked like. I mean, it was pretty similar. If you took off the WWE logo, I think it was just all gold with some kind of design in it, like that. The outer design, I think, is fantastic. The lions on the side.
Yep.
But I mean, I think
I'm gonna be honest though. Until you just said the lions on the side, I couldn't even tell they were lions.
Well, there's at the
Because
bottom. There's at the bottom too. They're all around
it. Just looks very regal, like elegant stuff. Other than the fact that it's just got the big WWE logo plastered all over it.
I think they should have done a better job with etching it out. Because I honestly thought it was just a lot of
looks like the winged eagle up top too.
melted gold.
Yeah. So
See the winged eagle?
yeah. So a couple of things. So
there's a lot of detail there.
They announced Triple H announced it as the World Heavyweight Championship, which was what the big gold belt was when WWE had it. But it just says World Champion on it, which I don't like. Like if you're gonna say Heavyweight Champion, I mean you can add that into the belt. But it got me thinking about Cody, all the stuff with the winged eagle, wanting to bring back the belt and stuff. And I was like, what? Okay, well now I don't even know if I want them to bring back the winged eagle, because if they bring it back, it's gonna look like that. It's gonna be a version with the WWE logo plastic. It's not gonna look. I don't think it'll. I don't think they'll bring it back exactly how it was.
All that's done intentional because WWE is all about their brand and their logo.
Which I think the logo is hideous anyway. But so do you think is this just another like jab at Cody? You think? Because like Cody's big thing was like when his thing was, I'm still a fan of him losing at Mania, right? That's no secret. But his big thing was to win the championship at Mania, right? No, big thing is going to bring back the Winged Eagle Championship. Nope. Is there a path here?
So hypothetically,
yeah,
Cody beats Brock at Backlash.
Okay,
he's against anybody else on the card for this belt at at Night of Champions, and he wins it.
He loses.
Well, I'm saying if he was to win, I said if he wins it, hypothetically, would it be a satisfying? Because we talked about after Mania, and you were like, yeah, but like let's just continue to see where it goes.
The story.
So if that's the path they take, is that he beats Brock, he wins this title at Night of Champions. Are you happy with that?
No.
That's what I said in the
That's
chat.
not my
I
story.
just don't like.
That's not the story I would tell.
I feel like that's the
Brock and Cody needs to be for no belt.
No, well, the match at Backlash is not for the belt. It's just them. But I'm saying he wins that match, and then he's against anybody because there's Backlash is first.
I think Seth Rollins gets his belt.
Backlash is first, the beginning of May.
Yeah.
And then King of the Ring is at the end of May. So if Cody beats Brock in May, the beginning of May, then that would put Cody in line to face somebody for this belt at Night of Champions. So he would have already beaten Brock.
Which I think Cody's beaten Brock, period. So move on forward.
He beats Brock, and then he beats anybody other than Roman for this belt at the next pay-per-view. To me, that's not a satisfying ending. Like I would be like, that's a cop-out. I mean, it's already a cop-out.
It's like second rate. You weren't good enough to win this one, but here you go.
I mean, everybody will say, and it was like the way Triple H announced it was this was just a consolation prize. It was like, nobody can beat Roman, so we're just gonna throw another belt out there.
and
that's exactly what Chris Evans just said. Is that same thing? Cody would just be a consolation prize.
And Trips is big on emphasizing the 1,000-day number, 1,000-night, day champion. So we know where it's going. I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I see Cody beating Roman. That's still my end game.
I mean, to me, that's what needs to happen. I just don't think that there will be a bigger moment at any point.
So what if
it didn't happen, since it didn't happen at Mania? Like I think that was the moment. I get it.
It's gonna happen at Mania.
I get it. The money's in the chase. That is all about him chasing it. That is his story.
Story's far from over. So what if we get to the? All right. Somehow there's a lot of time between now and Mania 40, right? Is it 40 next year? 40? Yeah, this was 39. So that's one of the pay-per-views where you can cross over, right?
Well, yeah, I'm just.
What are they gonna do when they have a champion versus a champion for all the marbles?
I don't think they unify all the belts again, like after this. But my thing is like,
I mean, hey, they're not going to unify the.
I mean, it's
the
almost a year away,
Universal.
guys.
but to me, like
almost a year.
the Bloodline story was so hot going into Mania.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been hot for a while. I don't see that storyline just with the Bloodline being as good as it was going into Mania for the next year, which therefore puts a damper. Like, even if Cody does beat Roman at next Mania, like, I don't think the story going into next Mania is as good as it was this Mania.
So how do they keep the momentum of the Bloodline story for another year? If they so choose to go that route.
Well, right now it's the internal struggle of the bloodline with Jay.
That what leads me to
Roman.
believe it's kind of dissipating a little bit, but I don't know. There's ways they could make it hot again. I definitely would have to see Rikishi involved. I definitely think Naomi. I definitely think
I don't think Naomi comes back.
No. Nope. Not happening. But
not anytime soon.
Interesting part about her, though, she dropped that trademark for her name she was seeking. So that was interesting. Why would you do that? A lot of questions.
Well, I mean, she said that she didn't have a deal with or the rumors were that New Japan was cutting back on money, so they weren't going to bring her in. But then it was announced that Mercedes had signed an extension. But then after she dropped the belt, it was like, well, she's only got like one more date. Like, the extension was just for one more day, and that's because it's an LA show, not in Japan.
She going to AEW?
I think so.
And
the show in LA is, if I'm not mistaken, May, like mid-May. And if they're really trying to build towards this Saturday show, if you have Punk and Mercedes as the lead male and female, I mean, that's
an A show.
Heck,
it's an A show
of an advertisement.
And Mercedes is on a run, man. She killed, like, even though she lost, still on an absolutely amazing run in Japan.
And AEW still allow her to still do work with Japan.
Oh yeah, and you got Forbidden Door.
I think that's where she shows up. Like, I think
that's
her
June?
contract's up.
June?
Yeah. I think her contract's up with New Japan, or they like she fulfills her last date. That's like where she last worked. She shows up and it looks like she's New Japan. Because of the cross pay-per-view, Forbidden Door, but then it leads into her at least having some sort of run.
Probably costing somebody the championship on the AEW side. Leading to a feud there.
I mean, her and Naomi could both show up.
Just take people out. That'd be sweet. A lot of good wrestling, a lot of good pay-per-view possibilities coming up.
You have
between May
and Naomi take out the Outcasts.
It'll be awesome. Between May and what? August? July?
Yeah, so you got 2 WWE PLEs in May, and then you have
we'll watch them. We'll probably end up watching them.
Double or Nothing
in
May, and then you have Forbidden Door in June. AEW doesn't have a show in July, and then they have All In, which they announced they released a seating chart and the ticket prices today. And then you have All Out like 10 days later.
That's the stretch I'm looking for. I think it's that May show. So it looked like by the seating chart. Wait a minute. Where's the blacked out marks?
Not
anymore.
I didn't see this.
Yeah. They said that they were the rumor was that they released it, and they said that they
did that on purpose.
As many tickets as possible. That there's like the ramp, and there's like limited.
I got chills.
Limited stage. From what I read.
Yeah, because that was the big thing. People were crapping out. AEW blocking out 60,000. They're only gonna be able to fit 30,000 in the arena, so they're not blocking out anything. You got a picture of that seating chart coming up?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
So realistically, Wembley.
So it said It appears that AEW will attempt to sell out the entire Wembley Stadium as opposed to tarping off seats that would have been blocked by the large stage.
Oh, look how they have the stage set up. I just noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be minimal stage and a ramp, just straight ramp. Wow. See, there's the one on Reddit, Elliot, that they were leaking, and it's not even close to what they announced.
The arena's turned a different orientation.
It's not even close. Wow.
But how many can Wembley hold?
Close to 100. I think 90. 90 being conservative.
I mean, we were talking about like, oh, well, what would be a good number for them to consider a success? But if they've
look at that article. Twitter, AEW All-In Seating Chart, would not be surprised if they sell this show out.
If they were to sell out that,
watch out. That is a whole different level of momentum. Because I dare say, I'll say this. I don't think WWE could legitimately sell out Wembley Stadium. I honestly believe that. Because we've said it in previous weeks, previous episodes, AEW has a reach, like a grasp on that European talent that unlike any other company.
So Wembley is the 90,000 seats,
mm-hmm.
and it's the largest sports venue in the UK, second largest in Europe. But you got to think 90,000 seats. I mean, with wrestling events, you have like floor seats and stuff. So I think it'd probably be close to 100.
And God forbid they add an extra 20,000 on it like WWE does anyway. 130,000 people. Yep.
That would be.
You see Chris Evans, Elliot?
I saw.
He's not. Don't acknowledge him.
I'll read it.
Jonathan's like, I'll read it.
Yeah. So catching up real quick. Bad Bunny not hosting Backlash now. He will wrestle Damian Priest. Cody goes where Roman goes.
Ooh.
Agree. Seth with the win. Cody would be consolation prize.
That's a nice call out by Billy Fox. That's pretty good. That's likely.
Chris also mentioned Tease and Solo attacking Usos and Luis Friday in his opinion, as well as I'm taking forever. Sounds like $8 an hour.
Laugh.
LOL. So here's what we're talking about right here.
Yeah.
Apologize for the clarity, but it's the best we can do.
And the delay.
I'm not gonna apologize for that.
So what is
I did for you.
So all right, so ringside seating. What's 1,500 pounds?
More than $1,500.
No.
Got you.
What? Now if they're selling out seats like that at that price,
$1,861.
that can't be the right figure. $1,800. Well, I want to know what that fine print says to the right of it.
I can tell you.
What's it include? It better include like a
I know
a massage by Tony Storm or something.
All the other one says plus booking fees.
Oh, wow. Like, what is that? What is it? $1,800. And wait a minute. That's not even the black market price. When's the pre-sale?
Where did this come from?
Is it fake news?
No. Well, it says Ticketmaster. I'm just saying.
I'm finding the
It's
pre-sale
not
code.
UK.
Somebody give me a pre-sale code for this. When these pre-sale tickets go on sale?
May 5th.
Okay, I got time.
But it's .uk. So
$1,800, and that's literally all of ringside.
Yeah,
all of it. Tickets are in high demand, folks. Well, in all actuality, what they said they had 50,000 signups,
52,000 pre-sales, or 52 not pre-sales, but 52,000 people signed up for.
So say 30,000 people at 2 tickets a pop. That's 60,000. Okay, this is gonna be insane. What you looking up there, Handbook?
I'm trying to see where the picture originated from, because even the one I saw was a different than where Elliot got it, but I still can't read what it says. That fine print.
That was taken off Twitter.
Oh man. But think about it. Okay, so where's
So Ticketmaster? It was the link went straight to Ticketmaster, but Ticketmaster took it down.
the seating chart?
Seating chart.
So
Like the link that for the picture was directed.
That's the first one with the blacked out. That's the first one they talked about having.
that setup will get you 55,000 people. Yep. So did they prematurely leak it?
Maybe.
Or is it not true?
So I would say, so like sometimes Ticketmaster will do like their like estimated layout, and I would say maybe they did that. However, if you look, there's definitely a ramp on this thing. This wouldn't have been what Ticketmaster would have accidentally come up with themselves. So it had to be. I mean, tickets don't go on sale till the 5th. So why would you release that early?
Drum up conversation.
So.
Interest. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so going back to the comment about Cody goes where Roman goes.
Yeah, I like it.
So right now, Cody's on Raw, Roman's on SmackDown. So which show would you consider the A show?
SmackDown, hands down.
So would you see Cody going to SmackDown or Roman coming to Raw?
I think Cody goes to SmackDown.
That's what I was thinking too, because you showed me the other day about the NBC exec that was in WWE's corner leaving.
Uh-oh.
So, I mean, NBC owns USA. So, I mean, we might not be getting, if TV rights come up, NBC might not.
It's likely.
Might not even keep Raw.
It's very likely, actually. So, would Fox go after everything? I can't, I mean, SmackDown is the A show in quality and talent for me, but it's still not the longest tenured show, longest episodic show in television history, or whatever that slogan is. You know, WWE's had a run on USA Network, TNN, Spike TV, with Raw. What else? USA?
Yeah, USA, TNN, Spike TV.
It's pretty much where it's been forever, right? Between the two stations. TNN Spike. Not even a thing anymore. Does anybody watch that?
Spike got rebranded.
Oh, so it's not even called Spike TV? Oh, yeah.
They get rebranded to True TV. I've always wondered that because it was still part of the Turner Network.
It got rebranded as Paramount Network.
Oh. And then what about who was interested in AEW program? Or no. Turner was interested in WWE programming, right?
Warner.
Yeah.
Warner Media.
So they say. I mean,
yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
I mean, I think anybody would want WWE programming or like access.
It's a cash cow.
Chris Evans says if they're going to do a brand split again, then I'd assume they're doing main stars on Raw and Rising back on SmackDown like they originally did. So I'd assume Roman Raw.
I don't think that's the point of it.
Yeah. So yeah, SmackDown is the A show.
I mean, they literally refer it like in the house, in the company, like that's their A show. They know it. That Fox money had a lot to do with it.
I do agree that SmackDown is the A show, and that's how WWE has presented it. And with that news of the NBC thing kind of going on, like obviously leads me to further that. The only problem I think with if you have is the two biggest stars you have right now are Roman and Cody. To me, like storyline wise, star power, all that. So if you have Roman and Cody on the same one, to me it makes more sense to have them both on Raw because Raw's 3 hours. That's the one you need time on. I mean, that's the one you need the star power on to get people to tune in for 3 hours.
Yeah, but how much
if you
time
don't have
at
the
3
star
hours
power,
people are going to turn up?
If that's the show they're on, I mean, that's you never know when it's like they're going to be on TV.
You move Seth Rollins back to SmackDown.
Because if all the star power is on SmackDown, like why would I tune into Raw at all for 3 hours? I mean, that's a long time to tune in to
That's why I think they put them on SmackDown. It's
not watch a superstar or the top star. But if you have Cody and Roman both on Raw, they announce at the beginning of the show that Cody's going to speak or something like that. Like people are going to tune in because they want to see Cody or Roman or whatever.
But then they're going to tune off when Cody's done. That's the problem.
They can still show up at the main event. I mean, it could still be at the end.
It's hypothetical.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. 3 hour, like to me, 3 hour shows have never been a good idea.
Jeff Jarrett said that they would put them both on Raw.
I've never like
that would be the smart business.
I've never been a fan of the 3 hour show. Nitro did it 8 to 11. Raw does it. I'm not a fan of it.
Now
It's hard.
Good.
It's just hard to capture. I mean, shoot, we ran PCW Super Smash Bros. 2.5 hours. It was a half hour too long.
Yep.
Now, if
2
they
hours,
make
sweet
if they
spot.
make the 10 to 11 hour TV 14, would you still prefer Roman and Cody to be on SmackDown?
Didn't they try to do that with Raw's on?
That's what they did. Raw's War or Raw Zone or whatever. No,
But
well,
they
SmackDown's still the
branded
better
it as
show.
like Fight Club.
But still,
Well, I mean, UFC bought. So I mean, they might still go that route.
Endeavor bought him. No, I'd still set it to SmackDown. That is like from a production value, from a monetary value, from a network. I think it's the better network. I don't know.
What if you're trying to get Raw to be on network? Like, what if you're trying to get Fox to buy Raw?
Fox won't do it
Because
because of the blue. Fox is the type of corporation that would, just because the color scheme is the same, they're going to want to stick SmackDown.
Fox doesn't they have the red under it like WWE?
That's CNN.
Tell Fox News.
Yeah, they got a red line. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the red banner, but Fox is primarily blue. SmackDown is a Fox show. I don't think it's going anywhere. And plus, let's be honest, it's not Fox.
Maybe it was Fox News.
It's not Fox that's having the uprising with the CEO leaving. So
No, that's Tucker. He's gone.
that frees up more money.
He's tuckered out.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a whole other conversation. I don't know. I think SmackDown remains the A show.
Because it's the same thing like we talked about Jericho having the Ring of Honor built. Like you got to put if you're trying to,
So name your top 5 stars in WWE right now. Like don't even think about it. Just name your 5 names I think you think of.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brock, Roman,
Cody, Roman,
Seth.
If healthy, Orton, but Orton's not been healthy. I mean, if I had to say somebody else, probably
Ray's been fire. Dom's been fire. Ben Balor, maybe
Balor,
Charlotte Flair.
Sammy, KO.
So split them up. Who's going where?
What if they split up Roman and the Usos?
Likely. That's an easy way to end the bloodline really quick. If that's
It's probably going to happen. But that would be.
I really hope that doesn't.
Because we are 2 and you are 1.
But that would be disappointing. That would be a disappointing. I mean, they could still.
They would say that. They would say that for last.
Run.
That wouldn't be first pick.
I mean, they could still run both shows, but I just think that would. I just don't think that would be a good.
I think this is gonna be stupid. That's my gut.
Chris said, from monetary value, I think you have to have them. It's 3 hours. Have to have them on Raw. It's 3 hours. Costs more to produce in theory.
But Raw sucks.
And here's the other thing with the tag title or they came out. Triple H came out and talked about Roman. Whatever show he gets drafted to, he's going to be on that show. Yeah, they're talking about.
So he's getting drafted, folks.
The pay-per-views being on different brands. Like, what are they going to do with the tag titles? There's only one set of tag titles. They're going to split those up. Are they going to do the Raw tag titles and SmackDown tag titles? Or are they just going to leave them unified?
Wait, are they? I don't even know. Are they still?
Because that would be.
Yeah, they're blue. They carry around 2 belts, the blue one and the red one.
But that would be exactly. But that would be the solution to
Raw and
Sammy and KO, and Sammy not going to Saudi. Is if they split the tag belts, you still have Sammy and KO as tag champs, and then whoever gets the other set, consolation prize. They go to Saudi.
I really hate the way this is going to go. I don't think it's going to be good.
Chris says it does suck, but that's the point. It's 3 hours. It costs more to produce. Need something to draw and get Raw not to suck.
I would normally agree, but I'm leaning more towards Raw not being like any sort of relevancy at all with that CEO being ousted. Technically what it was. Forced resignation, right? I don't know. The one CEO that was an advocate for WWE programming is no longer there. I think that's going to have I think it's going to play a large factor. More than what we're thinking.
Interesting how he got ousted for infidelity.
Along the lines, the same. Vince. How ironic.
Lay with the dogs, you get fleas.
What?
Lay with dogs, you get fleas.
Oh. But, we digress. Not here to judge anybody.
Anything else on Raw?
We didn't talk about I didn't really talk about
Or
Raw.
That's all I
WWE?
watched was the championship thing, and I was like,
Oh, yeah. As soon as that, I knew the rest was
I
going to be
mean, we
awful.
joked, and the more I see the pictures, it doesn't look as small as it came across when Triple H first pulled the curtain back. Because I immediately thought smaller version of the big gold belt, but then I was like,
Oh my
It
gosh,
almost looked-
that's the NWA small.
so small that it reminded me of the women's IWGP champion. That I
It's
was
very-
not the design, just the way it
The
looked,
height of it.
I was like, wow, belt looks super small. But the more I see pictures, I'm like, maybe it was just the angle.
About as tall as
but-
my water bottle.
But
Maybe I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. No, but there was any highlights from Raw that were missing? Elliot, there were any substantial value?
Bad Bunny is now fighting. He's not hosting Backlash. He is now fighting against Damian Priest.
So are there any highlights from Raw that we should be talking about? Bad Bunny. For legit, let's be honest here. Bad Bunny is probably one of the most talented celebrity acts in the ring. He's fantastic. So I'd put him on the level of, so when you think of celebrities in WWE in a ring, who do you think is really who sticks out?
Celebrity.
Bad Bunny's good.
In the ring.
Yeah. Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Stephen Amell.
Amell was fantastic. A lot of people forget about
Karl
that.
Malone.
Diamond Cutter was sick. Was on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Henning selling it. That was awesome.
I mean, Snoop Dogg's got a heck of a right.
Snoop Dogg's got a heck of a people's elbow.
Hey, y'all remember the frog splash he did, or
Bro.
the splash from the top rope at AEW?
How about Shaq at one time going through the table?
Yep.
In AEW. A lot of people forget about that nasty hook from Hugh Jackman. He threw that nasty hook to the Miz, of course. That was nasty. Who else was there? Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Chuck
He
Norris.
super kicked Jarrett.
I mean, this is
I still gotta watch that. Don't let me forget that this week.
Did Toby Keith ever have any matches in TNA?
No, but he
I know he
suplexed somebody.
I know he did a guitar shot or something.
He straight up suplexed him.
But
It was awesome.
who else?
I was like,
Brian Urlacher in TNA.
Lawrence Taylor did a little thing in WWE back in the day with Bam Bam.
Gronk.
Gronk was good. I thought that was pretty good. There's been some interesting ones that have stuck out.
Yeah, you had the Floyd Mayweather Big Show.
Horrible. But I mean, I love Money Mayweather. A lot of people hate on him, but I'm a big Money Mayweather fan.
Undefeated, man.
I'm still a Money Mayweather fan.
Can't argue with greatness.
There's a couple ones we're missing.
Oh, Mike Tyson.
Ronda Rousey. I mean, she toward the beginning, when everything looked straight shoot, I thought was really good. She got boring. Mike Tyson did the nasty punch. But yeah, there's been some interesting celebrity acts. I'm a big
Pete
fan.
Rose.
He got pile drivers for 4 years in a row. I got tombstone 3 straight years, and then went away for 20, and then came back. Got
Johnny Knoxville.
tombstone again. I thought fantastic, actually. That match with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Steve? What's his name? Is it Steve from
Steve-O?
Comedy Central?
Chris Pontius.
No. He was no Stewart. Last name John Stewart.
Jon Stewart was funny.
You got Bam Bam versus Lawrence Taylor back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Didn't I say Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah.
That's the only.
You
Yeah.
said it right after I said Brian Urlacher.
Yeah, made me think football. Yeah. Him and Bam Bam,
Oh,
That headline.
D'Angelo Williams in TNA.
the running back from the Panthers,
Yes.
was nasty. He was actually really talented.
Didn't the Bam Bam win Headline Mania?
Yes.
And let's not forget it.
Yes.
Let's not forget Dennis Rodman with the NWO.
Oh,
The Worm.
guys, we're forgetting the big one. Come on. Think. Former WCW World Heavyweight Champion
David Arquette.
I'm not acknowledging that one.
David Arquette.
Ha ha.
And who, by the way, His indie work is fantastic. He's been unbelievable. David Arquette. But let's catch up on a little bit of comments. Anything we got to catch up on?
Let's see here.
Just Chris running his mouth. Okay.
Oh no, Chris actually said there wasn't anything else that we missed. The Bad Bunny thing was the only other thing that stood out. Raw's main two things were the title and Bad Bunny.
That's sad.
Well, let's
3-hour show.
Let's move on to something else. But before we do that,
real quick.
Yeah, I'm
Just
listening.
because we were talking about earlier. So one person under contract to WWE who saw CM Punk backstage tells PW Insider he may have been there to kill whatever past heat he had with Triple H.
I could see that. And they were in Chicago. So it's not like he went out of his way to go to the show.
He didn't catch a plane. He walked down the
He was-
street.
And, and he does have friends there. So I mean,
I think it might have been a little blown out of proportion, but the fact that he spoke to Paul so much, I think that would make most sense to me.
but that part is what makes me believe maybe it was a like ploy or leverage on his part. If he was smart, I mean,
He's not
We don't know
dumb.
what his contract situation is with AEW, but
Yeah. Before we move on to our next topic of a discussion, we always got to do this, guys. It's brought to you by Day Soul Coffee Lab out of Birmingham, Alabama. Y'all, I consider myself a coffee what?
Connoisseur.
That's right. I absolutely love coffee. And I found what
absolutely.
I absolutely love coffee. And I have found what I believe to be the what?
The absolute best
absolute
coffee.
best.
Absolute best coffee out there. With Day Soul Coffee Lab, you can be sure to get coffee that's super smooth, that always
Fresh
fresh
roasted.
roasted. some of the best, if not
the best.
coffee you'll ever drink. So swing over to the website, daysoulcoffeelab.co, and use promo code
Lowdown.
to get 10% off your order.
The guys will even ship it to your house.
That's right.
That's
They have
all
a
I know.
subscription option and delivered to you directly every month. So it's a no-brainer. If you're going to drink coffee, you might as well make it great coffee.
I love this
Very
show.
good, guys.
We're learning.
Very nice. That's impressive.
We're in unison.
Take my $8.
That was no hour.
no. Billy says CM Punk was squashing past controversy issues with certain talent. I read with The Miz was a key. I read
Really?
The Miz was a key one.
That's interesting. I never knew they had heat.
Right offhand, I wouldn't say I remember, but was the whole thing when The Rock came back and The Miz was involved? Was it maybe there was something there because like Punk was talking about The Miz being in the main event or something? There might have been something there.
Well, if there was heat, kudos to professionals for not letting it public because I knew nothing of it.
And squashing it.
Right. So kudos. Maybe Punk's a professional.
What?
Maybe maybe that was the
Oh,
maybe that was what he wanted everybody to see.
like Pastor Brandon.
I can squash my beef. It ain't on my end.
Yeah, right.
What? Step it up. Step it on.
I mean, I don't know.
Got these babies in this other locker room.
Trying to step on each other's.
But interestingly, I do think it's more likely than people are giving credit to that. Who's giving the promo on Raw about shot at the Young Bucks there? Was it you that told me?
Oh yeah. Jimmy and Jey Uso talking about they were gonna kick Sammy in the face over and over and have a super kick party.
So that's not accidental.
No, but I took that as more because people were talking about like, oh, they give the Young Bucks so much crap for.
But the
all these
term
kicks.
super kick party, that's a Young Bucks.
Yeah, oh, I know, but I'm saying like because people were saying like, oh, people get on the Young Bucks for doing it, but they don't put that same energy into the Usos, and the Usos do just as much super kicks. So I think that was Usos' way of just being like,
but they still said the term super kick party, the name of the theme song of the Young Bucks. So okay. So, back when the whole CM Punk thing was originally happening, people were like, okay, they're going to have to choose. Are they going to choose CM Punk or are they going to choose the Elite? Which one is it going to be? Well, they obviously chose CM Punk. Rumor has it they've allegedly chosen. Love you, Dante. You can. Why don't we have Dante on the show? Dante, why don't you drive to Kershaw County, South Carolina?
Yeah.
And come on the show.
How about we
right
schedule
down the road.
How about we schedule you coming on, and we'll send you our deets.
And we'll have some peach. So the big thing was, all right, they're gonna have to choose CM Punk, or they're gonna choose the Elite. Which one are they gonna do? Well, they chose in their own way. They've allegedly chose CM Punk.
EVPs. Go ahead.
Huh? What?
So there's still EVPs, but go ahead.
And they're creating a brand new show
in name only. Like, I don't believe that's even a legitimate thing anymore. But like, so they've chosen CM Punk, but now doing so, they've put a band-aid on the situation to where now they're going to make this Saturday weekend show an A show because of CM Punk. So they've chosen CM Punk, right? In a way. So maybe it's made somebody in the Elite mad, a couple of people mad in the Elite, that he's even still with the company in totality. And they're like, you know what? We're out. Possible. That could have been WWE's alluding to it. You know, those contracts got to be coming up pretty soon. Young Bucks.
There's a lot of contracts coming up pretty soon on both sides.
There's contracts, TV rights deals, all happening like at the same time. I'm still watching that MJF one. That's interesting to me.
And so this makes more sense. Not what we're talking about, but what I'm about to say makes more sense now. Just thinking back, like it should have been like common knowledge. But we talked about when Vince cut all the WWE talent before he got out, and then Triple H took over and he was bringing people back.
Yeah.
Like, every week it was like somebody was coming back and
Poor
like,
Karrion Kross.
Tripp's really doing it. Like, he's bringing everybody back. Everybody was like, he might have had that moment, but then it was like, okay, well, like, now what has he done to it? So on the Jarrett's podcast, Jarrett talks about when WCW was done, the talent that went to WWF, and then the ones that were still being paid under Turner and like stuff like that. And he said part of it had to do with, he was like, you have so much influx of talent that the eyes that are watching the product are so focused on the talent that they have that it was too much too fast. And then I was like thinking back and I was like, well, that makes sense because that's what happened when Triple H took over. Like, they brought all these people back and it was like each week the moment was nice because they were bringing back and people knew who they were. But then it was like, okay, well, now you got this many more people on the roster and you're not like, what are you doing with them? Like, you can't create 15 brand new storylines and have them all interesting and keep everything that's hot that you already got going on. Like, there's somebody's going to fall to the wayside.
Well, now there's going to be a lot of fat cut again from WWE. This whole Endeavor deal. And you know what? And part of me still thinks that deal doesn't go through. I mean, if you follow like the DOJ and that kind of stuff and all those different guidelines, like regulations, there's still a possibility that whole deal doesn't even happen.
Yeah, because
of antitrust stuff and, you know, companies becoming too big or whatever.
I think it happens.
That'd be interesting.
I think it happens, and I don't know if there's
T-Mobile is trying to purchase Mint, and that's not even going to go through.
Which is interesting.
It's weird
because Mint uses their towers.
That is really weird because they already like got commercials with and Sievert and stuff.
And like that's gonna be shut down, like because of antitrust issues and companies getting too big. You know, that's why things get stopped. I don't necessarily agree with it. If somebody wants to buy something, like, what do I care? But like, I don't know. That's a huge company you're talking about with combining of WWE and UFC.
Well, see, that's where I think it's.
If the capital's there, I don't care.
Yeah, but I think it's
got to make sense.
T-Mobile is like absorbing Mint from what, right?
Yeah, it's still an acquisition.
But like, I feel like
the
Endeavor, like they're just. I mean, they're still saying separate brands, so it's not like. I mean,
they're separate brands, but under one big company.
I know that, but they're still separate brands. I mean, that, you know, like, it's just I don't know. I think it happens. I don't think
there's a lot of lawsuits.
I do think there's cuts on the roster side, but I think most of the cuts are going to come from like backstage stuff, producers and stuff like that. Because Endeavor's got their own people, like media people, all that. I think that's where most of the cuts happen, and that may not be a good thing.
It may be a blessing. We don't know. Just keep people with wrestling minds in the business. That's all I ever ask.
Well,
hire Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, I mean,
Oh, they did. They fired him. They fired him like a couple weeks later, didn't they?
speaking of Jeff Jarrett,
Oh yeah. Look at him. He's on a flyer in 2023.
Jeff,
Great.
so we got we've got Orange Cassidy versus Bandito.
Dante, he's close to Kershaw. What?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Dante at?
He lives in Lancaster.
That's not close to Kershaw.
He lives in Heath Springs.
I don't know where that is.
And,
In
and
Camden?
his parents live in Camden.
I live in Heath Springs and have guest room ready for me and my parents' home in Camden. What? Let's go. Yep, Dante, we'll see you next week. All right, let's talk about that AEW card.
All right, so we got Orange Cassidy and Bandito.
That could be a title change.
Heath Springs is like right north of Kershaw, the city of Kershaw.
Oh, it's an actual town.
Yeah.
Oh,
That area.
we're in Kershaw County, Dante, not Kershaw.
Yeah, but his parents live in Camden.
Oh yeah. So you're about 10 minutes away. So come on. That could be a title change.
I hope it is.
Yep. That's a.
I'm tired of seeing Orange Cassidy as a champion.
Why? He's great.
It just
I love Orange.
It doesn't do anything for me. His title reign. I like his work, but the storytelling just hasn't done anything for me.
Well, is Bandito the one that's freshly signed? No, who was that a couple weeks ago? The other one, not Commander.
Yeah,
Kingo. No,
Commander was the most recent.
But Bandito's been around a while in AEW, so
Jalistico is the other one.
I think this could be Bandito's shot, and I think a great opportunity to have a Hispanic champion.
Bandito hasn't been around AEW for a while,
But he's signed, right?
He's signed. Yeah, he's signed.
Okay. Yeah. I think this could be a shot for him.
So you got that match. You got Sammy Guevara and versus Darby Allin.
Low key match tonight.
Winner of this goes on to
Faces
fight MJF for the belt.
At Double or Nothing.
Which I'll say, I was super disappointed when MJF came out and said that it was going to be a tournament and not a 4-way. Like, I thought a 4-way match with the pillars, the 4 pillars, would have been fantastic. Now, he played his part because it went on Twitter and he was like, and you guys thought we were going to have a 4-way match. Yeah, get out of here. But I think that 4-way match would have been nice. Like, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of like 4-ways, triple threats, unless they're done right. But like that, I felt like made sense. All the promos. And it may, and I still not completely sold that it won't happen because MJF kind of teamed up with Sammy. So
Yeah,
I still think they might find a way to do it. But I think the match is, I think, better as a 4-way than it would be just MJF versus somebody.
So
Dante says he'll be here next week. It'll be fresh off filming his 3rd stand-up special.
nice.
Awesome, dude. We'll see you next week. It's exciting.
We'll have to go see Joseph and Dusty Bend. Get some more Crown Peach.
Oh yeah, Joseph.
Shout out to Joseph at the Stop and Go or Shop and Go, whatever that name is. So what do you think they do with Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin? Winner goes to MJF, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we all going with Darby?
I mean, I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I don't think they allow MJF to help Sammy win.
I think MJF helps Sammy win, and then that's why it goes back to a 4-way. Like Tony comes out and says, "Hey, yeah, this isn't what we're doing."
4-way the pillars would be fantastic.
Because you got to remember, MJF gave Sammy a check, a blank check.
But Billy does have a good point. MJF tries to interfere, and Sting comes out to help because Sting had that promo with Darby and MJF. That could happen too. But I just
because Sting dropped Cody's name.
I don't know. I just really, to me, the 4-way match had me excited, and I don't think as a singles match. I mean, not saying it won't be a good match. I just think a singles match with either Sammy or Darby doesn't do it as much for me as the 4-way would have. And I just don't know why they would, why change it? Like, if that was what everybody was rumoring, that's what everybody was excited about. Like, why make it a singles match?
I agree.
Also, you have Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie for the TBS Championship.
Jade retain?
I think so. I do. I mean, I appreciate how they've been trying to build Taya, but nobody's behind her, man.
There's only one woman that can beat Jade Cargill. There's only one. She's not here yet. It's my belief.
Mercedes?
Yes, without a doubt. She's the only one that's believable.
Yeah.
Well, I read rumors today about Tessa, but I think Tessa would be one if they were to bring her.
There is 0% chance Tony Khan brings Tessa Blanchard into AEW.
Why? I'm not saying that he will. I'm just saying if they were, like, that would be I could see her winning.
Yeah, it's former Impact World Champion.
Right. But I don't think they bring her in.
No. It's my money's Mercedes. Money.
That's where your Monet's at.
That's where my money's at. Yep. What we got? What else?
Also, we'll hear from new 3-time TNT champion Wardlow with Arn Anderson now.
Okay.
Well, first, there's a lot of stuff going on with Wardlow too. But did you watch Dynamite last week?
Some of it.
Did you see when Arn came out
with the gun? Yeah, of course.
I popped so hard on the couch.
Have you ever went back and watched the original segment?
Yes.
Because you weren't quite watching AEW yet.
No, because I remember that segment vividly watching it live because I was like, because I just remember.
Did he just say that?
Like, yeah, I mean, that was like one of those things where I was like, oh boy, like somebody's getting fined.
So have you heard the story about that?
What's that?
Like,
where they said it, like if it would have been anybody but Arn,
yeah, that was on AEW Unrestricted.
I believe that. I believe that too.
Yeah,
they
revealed that on AEW Unrestricted. But side note, if you haven't listened to the JD Drake episode of AEW Unrestricted, go check it out. A little shameless plug.
I like JD Drake.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like they got Arn. They brought Arn in, Wardlow's got his thing going on with QT and Powerhouse. Like, it is what it is. But then when he pulled out the gun, I was like, it was just a fun callback. Small moment.
And Arn giving the DDT in the ring.
Ooh,
still look good.
Yeah. I was like, ouch.
Did y'all see the stuff that Wardlow said about Goldberg?
Let me just say, and I've said it to you guys in private, I'll put it on the air now. So the AEW crowd, fan base, has been longing for a Wardlow Goldberg match for the longest time. Otherwise, they never would have chanted his name in the tune of Goldberg, right? I wholeheartedly believe that. So I think if it's available, if it's possible, Tony needs to pull out the paycheck, make this match happen. I think it'd be a great addition to the Wembley card. You want to sell 90,000 seats? Goldberg's still name value.
Yeah.
But you have to book it to elevate him because he has been here to the top and then buried. So I think that's how you do it.
So that's my only thing with it. Like I big fan of Goldberg when I was a kid. I've not really been, again, it's the same thing with Brock. Like I get he's an attraction. People tune in to watch it, but like there's not been, he just doesn't, like other than him spearing Brock in the match being over pretty quick because it was just shocking that Brock got beat like that. Like there's just not been a lot to be like, I'm excited to watch that. I'd be okay with them booking the match versus Wardlow if Wardlow comes out on top or comes out looking like the star, because I feel like that is the way to elevate him. But to me, because Goldberg's come out and said he wants to have like one last like world tour kind of thing, or like a couple of matches here, just a few. To me, this one needs to be the last one. Like if he has it first, and then if he has it first and then whatever. I mean, I think this needs to be Goldberg's. Like if they're gonna do it, I think Tony needs to like pay up to make it Goldberg's last match, or hey, we're gonna do this, but like that's it.
I don't know if they'd be able to do it because Wembley's when's Wembley again? You know all the show dates.
August 27th.
So we're already at May. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't know what other big shows are really where he would show up on. But
make a show up in Japan, do a show.
Which that's likely. That would be likely for him to be in Japan. Win.
Shows up in LA in May.
Show up in Saudi.
No, the last time he showed up in Saudi was against the Undertaker, and he about killed him. So let's not. That makes me nervous too. But again, I'm always a fan of booking older talent with young talent because the young talent can carry and make them look good. You know, when you put a near 60-year-old man with a near 50, how old's Goldberg? 53, 54. I mean, not gonna be too good. So I think him and Wardlow. I mean, I think would be fantastic, and I think Wardlow would be the perfect person for him. So.
Also, we'll hear from Adam Cole.
Baby. He's at least they still pushing him as the number one baby. He's still
I think so.
The goal in game here with him.
I think. I mean, he's in something with Jericho right now. So,
how would you say Goldberg was in an Undertaker match?
I would say 54.
You said it's just bound to not be good.
It was awful. What do you mean?
But you're talking about their age. Like it's going to be awful because of their age. Weren't you a fan of the Jarrett Flair match?
No. That's not what he said. He said when you have two older guys, he said it's better to book younger versus older because the younger guy can carry. When you book the two older guys who I understood don't work regularly, then you run into those issues like you did with Goldberg Undertaker.
Yeah,
Jarrett works regularly,
and I don't think and I'm sorry,
but you also had Jay Lethal in the match. It was a tag match. It wasn't a one-on-one match.
Well, and let's
Ric
Flair's
last like 10 years older than the Taker.
And Ric Flair's last match, as botchy and messed up as it was still 100 times more entertaining than Goldberg versus Taker and Jeddah. 100 times. The fake heart attack spot gets me every time. I watched it the other day. He faked a heart attack. People really thought he was dying.
I mean, even at home. I mean, it was just awful.
Remember?
It was awful. It was all so.
But it's Flair.
In the moment, I was like, "This is just a spot." And I was like, I'm really worried though. But then I kept I didn't want it. I didn't want it to be hilarious because I was like,
you didn't know where the laugh cry call.
I don't know. But then I keep going back to the scene of the proposal with Betty White where she fakes the heart attack and she's on the plane, and I was like,
if Betty White can do it, Ric Flair can do it. Sorry.
Well, I guess they're not ready for it.
That spot was funny though, man. It was.
The line is still going strong.
Oldest ride, longest line.
For Matt Matt
Morgan.
I was the blueprint.
Yeah.
Or maybe he means for a match. I
think it was for Morgan. I think they were building him up like it was going to be Goldberg, and then I think it ended up being Morgan. If I remember.
And what's the guy Elliot coming up AEW?
You also have just mentioned Jeff Jarrett, Dax Harwood versus Jeff Jarrett.
They're showing Jarrett's clan here. What do they call themselves? Do they have a name? It's just Lethal.
Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and
Double J Lethal.
Okay. All right. So there's got to be some.
They'll watch. That's what they'll come out of the show.
Double Sanjay Lethal.
They got to have some odds evened here.
Briscoe.
He doesn't show up there.
He is showing up before Chicago.
He has to.
You also have the Butcher and the Blade versus Kenny Omega and Konosuke Takeshita. Konosuke.
It's gonna be good. I low key love Butcher and the Blade, man.
Konosuke currently looking like he's part of the Elite. I believe he turns to the Elite, joins the Blackpool Combat Club, and you have good old Ibushi come to AEW.
So you'd have.
I love.
So you could do BCC with
Konosuke Takeshita.
That's 5.
And you have the Elite. With
Hangman
and Ibushi.
5-on-5.
Okay.
And we will hear from Tony Khan.
And we will hear from the boss.
But do you think? You said you think he turns on The Elite.
I think he turns on the Elite. Yep. And I also think Don Callis is actually behind the Blackpool Combat Club.
Well, if that happens, then I could see him turning because Callis was the one that brought him in. I would almost see it being more of Kenny causing it, like Kenny kicking him out, or Kenny turning on him, and then him being like, "Well, I'll just go." Yeah.
I think Takeshita. Well, Takeshita loves Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. Even the whole Bryan Danielson thing was even, kind of pleading with him like, "What are you doing? This isn't who you are," with the whole Elite thing. So, but yeah, so that rounds up the AEW Dynamite card for Wednesday, April 26th.
Any guesses what old Tony Khan's about to say? Well, it's not being billed as a major announcement, folks.
Yet.
It's practically Wednesday. They would say it by now.
But go back and look. Most of them, it's like Wednesday morning, major announcement tonight. It'll be just like, oh, we'll hear from Tony Khan next week. And then like Wednesday morning, oh, it's a major announcement. It just changed overnight.
Or day of.
Tony Khan has big news.
That's another thing they've used. So I think the biggest announcement Tony Khan's ever announced was the acquisition of Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Okay, we've had like 13 big announcements since, and none of them.
I remember when we were all guessing it was going to be Bray. Drop
the ball there. Look what he's doing now.
So most of Tony's Twitter stuff's always like the day.
He is
like,
a good
hey,
hype man.
Like, hey, go, like it is, but it's always like the post is always phrased about the same, like for the show, like when he's like, oh, watch Dynamite tonight or Rampage and stuff like that. But we always talk about his interviews and how it just,
he's so awkward.
It's so awkward, and you can tell he's repeating it. So like he says the same line, phrase like 3 or 4 different ways. Like he wants to make sure he gets that across, but then he forgot he said it.
And Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Fury of the Gods with Shazam.
He looks like a deer in the headlights when he's talking.
But there was a Twitter post that he did within the last week. I can't remember what it said, but I read it how he would cut like he said the same, like it was like 3 sentences, and then there was like a break, and then another sentence. But the sentence that after the break, he had just mentioned in the thing, and I was like, okay, like now his promos are starting to run into his Twitter work.
It's definitely him running his own Twitter page. I mean, so there's been times though, man, where Tony Khan's been on the mic, and I'm like, I get chills because he's delivering a message or getting a point across where it's like, oh yeah, but then it's like, somebody should take the mic, cut him off. Cut him off.
I don't remember what the post was about though.
But anything more on AEW there, boys?
No, I mean that's all that I saw.
Jonathan, what you drinking in your silver cup? Is it from our favorite place?
No. I tried to make it back in time. I made it. They closed at 6, and I made it back. I would have got there at like 6:03, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
Not gonna make it. What did you say that from the other day? You were like, he's not gonna make it. We were talking about cutting it close. I don't know what it was. It was funny.
Something with your car, wasn't it?
Probably the piece of crap. It's not gonna make it. My car barely starts.
I can't remember.
I can tell you what we do have that we can talk about though. No longer wrestling related. If there's nothing else.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I've been staring at him for about an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, you
That's
can touch those too.
That's not what he was talking about.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, F. Sorry.
No, but next week.
Yes.
Next week, May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, is it really coming out next week?
We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
That's next week.
May 5th.
Dang it.
What?
We'll be able to see it till like the 7th.
Oh my Lord. So fast.
Speaking of fast.
What?
Speaking of fast. Fast 10.
No. I am excited. for both movies, man. I think I'm interested to see where old Jason Momoa how he does in hurry up, buddy.
Jason Mimosa.
I'm Jason Momoa.
Momoa. Momo.
I think I'm excited because these aren't sour.
Sweet.
Wow.
Oh yeah. All right. Those are good. I'm not gonna lie. Big advocate. Paul Heyman.
So
They make some noise though. Yeah, like chew them with your mouth closed.
you're right.
Yeah, they make some noise.
Grateful grape. That's my fave.
But
Not a fan.
you're not a fan? You don't like them?
Really great.
Oh, I was like, pass them down. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's one of my favorite Marvel series.
I am Groot.
So I'm excited. Man, one of those is cotton candy. Blue.
Dreamberry, Passion Punch, Cotton Candy, Grateful Grape.
So Dante said I had to edit it. The comment cut off. It was for a Matt Morgan match.
We got you, Dante. We knew.
Yeah, you got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out May 5th. I know Asher's excited about that coming out. Then one that Shane's excited about coming out.
Jonathan, too?
Sure.
Why is it just me?
Well, you are the Fast and the Furious franchise marquee.
So is he. Jonathan, back me up.
I would say so.
Oh, no.
He's a bigger fast mark than me.
No.
I haven't even seen Tokyo Drift. Have you seen Tokyo Drift?
I don't
I
get that.
Multiple times. He's Dom. I'm Brian.
Wait a minute. Why am I Dom?
Uh,
Why can't I be Brian? All right. Why do I gotta be Dom? I wanted to be Han Solo
Han Solo.
or Vince. Not McMahon.
Funny enough, he's in both the movies coming out. So
Vince? He's back?
Vin Diesel.
Oh, no, I said Vince. Not Vin. I don't know. I am excited about Jason. I hope
You have to be Dom
Why? Why me? That's Ethan Case.
because Brian has a
Same
crush
reason
on
you're
Dom's,
Alan.
Brian's
I mean,
dead.
Stu.
Brian has a crush on Dom's sister.
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. What?
Huh?
Brian.
Maybe, right?
has
He
a
gets
crush-
with Dom's sister, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're an idiot. Sorry, Melissa, if you listen to the show. You're messy. Oh, you're an idiot. My sister's amazing. Leave her alone.
She is amazing.
She is. Shut up. You can't say that.
I can say whatever I want.
Oh, let me tell you about the time you were there.
Well, I was there
Remember when
when we all went to New
Sure.
York. Yeah.
my sister,
Oh, this is New York. Don't worry about it.
Jonathan was still, I think, Jonathan, you were still newer to T-Mobile.
No, he wasn't too new. He'd been there.
I've been there for a while. I mean, well, within 6 months because
Yeah, but it was still during a point where you're like, should I be doing this? I mean, the guy I work for is here.
No.
the answer was no. but
Mm.
I was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay, more of those. Those are amazing. Okay, dickhead. All right. So yeah.
Nah, Melissa is nice though.
So Fast 10 is gonna be. I don't like this.
What?
I get all grape.
Then
Oh.
hand me the grape and you get something else.
Yeah.
I love grape.
So Fast 10.
Absolutely love grape.
Fast 10 is gonna be divided into
I do.
2 movies, right? That's the rumor.
No,
What? Yes, it is.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
Fast 10 is gonna have 2 chapters.
not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You want to bet a T on
I
it?
do.
Awesome. Look it up.
There is going to be a Fast 11, but it's not Fast 10 Chapter 1.
No, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be divided into 2 movies.
Semantics got him.
Yeah, I mean, you better look at that one up there,
I
Hoss.
said 2 chapters. It is not. 2
You
chapters.
know what I meant?
No,
2. It's gonna be in 2.
no, we ain't pulling that.
2
No.
installments. Yes, it is.
No, it is not part 1 and part 2.
Dante.
Dante says the funny thing about the Fast Pushers, half of them could play in a movie about the WWE. Jason as Roman, Vin as Stone Cold, Statham as Cesaro, and obviously John Cena as The Rock.
The first part of Fast 10 is currently scheduled to be released on May 19th, 2023. That's part 1.
Okay. From what source?
All of them.
I only see one, and it says the Fast and Furious 2021.
Here's another one. Cinema Blend. Fast X will be the first chapter of the franchise's 2-part finale.
What's the second one gonna be called? If it's Fast 11, that doesn't count.
Sir, there you go. There you go again with your bull. There you go.
No,
I have wit. Okay.
You can't have 10 movies and then say we're gonna name the next one 11, but it's gonna be part 2.
You hate being wrong.
No,
You
Harry
hate
Potter
being
part
wrong.
1, part 2. The last movie said part 1, part 2. Hunger Games part 1, part 2.
Again, I said the final movies.
You said chapter 1, chapter 2.
You are.
That is exactly what you
hate
said.
being
Rewind it.
wrong.
Rewind the tape. You
hate
said
being
chapter
wrong.
1, chapter 2.
Hate
2
it.
chapters.
You hate it.
You said
You
2
hate
chapters.
being wrong. This is everything we know about Fast and the Furious 10, known as Fast X, including release date about part 1 of the 2-part finale.
Because there's 2 more movies.
This being the first one of the 2.
Yeah, but it's Fast 10 and Fast 11.
Fast 10
Wrong.
part 1. It's not Fast 10 part 1. Fast 10 part 2.
They don't. No other movie in the Fast franchise are they like, oh, Fast and the Furious. Oh, Too Fast, Too Furious is part 2. Oh, the third one is part 3. They're calling this a 2-part finale.
Exactly. If they were doing a 2-part finale, it would be 10 part 1, 10 part 2, not 10 and 11.
Nobody knows what the next one's called.
Well,
How are you
find out
saying
then.
that?
We won't know until then.
But what I've been saying is that they're making the final film into 2 parts.
That would be like them coming out with the first one and being like, this is going to be a
2 chapters, 2 parts.
10-part movie.
You are so full of it.
That's not the same. They're not splitting one movie into 2 parts. They're making 2 separate movies and ending the franchise with 2 separate movies. You know, it's kind of like the Usos being nephews to Roman Reigns.
Mm-mm. You're gonna be proven wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. Oh. Wrong. What?
I'm just laughing.
But did you see I don't know if they showed it in the first Fast trailer, 10 trailer, but in the newer one, Jason Statham's back. So pretty much everybody but The Rock.
Rock ain't coming back.
Cesaro.
What?
Jason Statham. Cesaro.
Oh.
That's what Dante said.
I'm saying for not this one. I think The Rock comes back for the last one.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Wrong again.
You mean 10 part 2?
No. The next one, the 11.
Still a 2-part finale.
XI.
And what it means is they're being filmed back to back. I mean, it's a 2-part finale.
They're not being filmed back to back. This one's already done filming. They're not filming 11 right now.
Are you on set?
Yes.
How would you honestly know that?
Because Vince's filming other movies.
So you can't film 2 movies at once?
No.
Really?
No.
In what world are you living in?
Well, when they're halfway across the country, The Rock can't even show up at Mania because he's filming a movie.
I haven't drank enough. I haven't drank enough to do this. Give me my gummies. I can't take this. I can't take this.
Oh.
They even announced they're filming them back to back.
When did you see that?
Approve it.
Does that just mean that there's not another movie between the 2 of them?
There's no movie between them.
No,
These 2.
Wouldn't that still mean they're back to back? Doesn't mean like you finished up today and 11 starts tomorrow.
I don't know. I mean, I just think they're filming them. I mean, while they don't want to wait years in between. You have to get it done with.
That's the way I take it.
You ain't getting these back.
I don't want them back.
That's the way I take it as filming back to back.
Can't take something I already gave you.
You gave these to me?
I-
That's nice of you. These are good.
They are good.
They're pretty good.
I'm just cutting out sweets. So
No
I
such
had a
thing.
few.
I had cheesecake earlier, so
That was why I've only had a few.
You had cheesecake? You had cheesecake too? What kind was it?
I had blueberry white chocolate.
Mm.
It was fantastic.
I had regular
Oh, I can do it.
New York style
New York style.
from the Golf House of Pizza.
Oh, there. You went to LHOP? I went to where did I go? Oh, Candies at the Granary
Or they were open?
for lunch.
Ah.
For lunch. But guys, I did see Evil Dead Rise.
I was about to ask you about that. We haven't talked since you.
Nope, and I purposely didn't talk because, well, I know you're going to see it.
You didn't want to give me nightmares.
I really need you to do me a favor
Uh-oh.
before we talk about Evil Dead. So I need you to give me a little bit. We've talked about this before, but I need you to give me like a little bit of a heads up of when you're going to the movies, other than like the day of.
I do that for everybody. Ask him. Movies are never planned in advance. I go and I invite.
Well, I know, but you're always invited. I don't live close by, and you're always like,
hey, I'm going in 30 minutes.
It's not that. It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
I'm nowhere close to where, like, an hour away. My home's an hour away, but I'm
Sir,
like,
I was going to go to Swamp Fox.
Well, you didn't.
Well,
You
no,
didn't even offer that.
'cause
We
the
would have
other
went.
guy-
We would have went. I even you said like midday. What are you doing tonight? I was gonna call you. I was gonna call you later at 9:45, and I was like, dang, that's a specific time to call me. It was like 5 o'clock or earlier, 4. I was like,
No, I didn't say I was going to call you at 9:45. I said, what are you doing at 9:45?
that's not what you said.
Why would I call you at 9:45? The movie's at 9:45.
Listen, I know that's what confused me because your message.
back and read it
said-
again.
I will.
Right now, on air.
Okay.
Right now. While you're looking.
Well, I know.
Hold
I
up.
know exactly what it says because you resent a second message that made sense.
Oh, God. You are the most semantic individual. You know what I was asking. What's it say?
You said,
Uh-huh.
Jonathan, I was going to call and see if you were free tonight at 9:45.
Oh,
yeah, free tonight at 9:45.
that doesn't say call you at 9:45. Again. Wrong again. Wrongo.
And then I said, why so
Thank you,
late?
Elliot.
I was going to see Evil Dead. I said, oh, I thought you were calling at 9:45. You said, I meant 9:42. Well, what time was that?
I don't know. Early in
2
the
o'clock.
day.
So I was
7.5 hours notice.
I was
is
working.
plenty of time.
I was working.
You
And
are
also
a controversial
an
person,
hour
tonight,
away,
aren't you?
An hour away.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, I got to talk to the wife. And then when I talked to the
I
wife,
give you 8 hours. I give you a business day.
she was like, I don't want to go drive an hour away, see a movie at 10 o'clock. It'll be over at midnight, drive an hour back when we have plans the next day. And then she was like, but if we can go to Florence, and then I was like,
We would have gone to Florence. I would have been to Florence if
but you didn't even give me that option before you said,
because I'd already before I.
Hey, you could have just said, hey, could we go to Florence?
no, he told me like when we were talking before I even talked to Danielle, he was like, well, I was going to go to Swamp Fox, but
You got no proof of that.
You know that's what you
got
said.
awkwardly quiet. It's such a good relationship, but
That's a lot of sugar you spilled on your table.
how did I do that?
I know how. Pouring them out on your table.
Sorry.
anyway, how was Evil Dead?
Very evil, very dead.
So I went into it. I'm a big fan of the Evil Dead series, even back to the originals. So the Ash stuff. And then I saw the remake in 2013. So the remake, have you seen the originals?
It's been a while.
But you've seen them. Evil Dead 2. So Evil Dead, the original one, was really scary. The second one got funny. Really funny. So Evil Dead was remade in 2013. Movie was really scary. Evil Dead Rise is a pretty scary, but it's got some little over exaggeration in it, and you'll be able to point it out when you see it. But it's very like like Evil Dead 2, very or that popular video game. What was that video game? What's it called? Evil Dead Rising or Dead something Rising, where you
Dead Rising
was an awesome video game, right? It gets a little cartoony, but I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I would recommend seeing it for anybody that's a fan of the horror genre or Evil Dead in general. It's north of a 7 for me on a scale of 10. I thought the acting was really well done. It's a very short movie. That's what made me nervous going into it. It was only like 97 minutes. I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. But it held my attention. It was pretty good. I think you'll like it. I don't think you'd be wasting any money seeing it. So I don't think there's a lot of big horror movies coming out.
So when you were watching, like when you went, you sent us a message about
oh boy.
No, you said you saw the trailer for Insidious. And then right after that, me and my wife were watching something and the like on YouTube or something, and the trailer popped up like it was like suggested or whatever. And I was like, oh, we got to watch it.
Well, first of all, Patrick Wilson, right? Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. They've been in all of them together. Well, they might not have been in Skeleton Key. Was it Insidious Skeleton Key? Something Key? One of the Insidious films?
One of them, I think.
But they were mentioned. But those two, their on-screen chemistry is insanely good. I think Insidious is
the last Key.
Yeah, I don't think they were in that movie. I could be wrong. I admit when I'm wrong. Like somebody. But
never wrong, just not always right.
See? I get it.
I don't think they were in the third one either. Doesn't show it. IMDb doesn't show it.
Well, you know how I feel about IMDb, so yeah. I don't think it's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Like as far as like graphicness or goriness or horror. So I think you'd like it. That's my take on it. Non-spoilers. But yeah, the Insidious trailer. Oh, how about the Boogeyman? That new Stephen King adaptation?
So I sent you the trailer and you said you had already watched it, but then I sent you the article and you were like, oh, I hadn't seen that. So the article said that they did like a test screening. And
yes, sir.
So before I read the article, I was worried because they said the headline was like that they had to change the movie because the audience thought it was too scary. And I was like, why? Like that, to me, that sounds exactly why I go see a scary movie, is to be scared. But I read the article and it said the changes weren't I thought they had like made it less frightening. They said that wasn't the changes. The changes were that when they first show the character, like he was so scary that people reacted in a way where they were talking and stuff for like minutes afterwards, and they missed key parts of the movie. So they had to add in like a 45-second buffer after they initially show him to like let everybody like calm down and cool down so they don't miss parts of the movie. And I was like,
yeah,
that's what I want to see.
Exactly. You want to see that one with us?
Nope. Good.
It's not possession. It's just
the Boogeyman.
You see John Wick? You see John Wick? Baba Yaga. Boogeyman.
Nah, it's John Wick. So
I'm the Boogeyman.
Have we all seen that yet?
What?
You saw John Wick 4?
I haven't seen 4. Haven't seen 4? No.
That was amazing.
Did you watch it?
Yes. We just went to see it. Theaters.
I didn't know that, I don't think.
We never talked about that. Must have got that one secret. Well, I know you were catching up on John Wick.
Yeah.
And I thought you had to watch 3.
I still got to watch 3. I didn't even know you saw 4. I mean, we hadn't talked about it or anything.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we did, actually. I'm pretty sure we did, but it was
Pretty sure I would have remembered.
It was amazing. That was the movie of movies, right there. John Wick.
Beforehand, it was like, oh, this might be the best action film of the last 10 years. That was like the last conversation we had about it that I remember.
Yeah, it was pretty good. John Wick 4.
And we do give each other a lot of grief, but I would definitely go for my memory over yours. Don't
Depends on
me.
the day.
If it ends in Y, don't ask.
Depends on the day.
Every day.
See John Wick 4. That's like above all else, any movie.
Was it worth the hype?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely worth the hype. That might be low-key movie of the year.
Interesting.
That was that good. What else? What's? I still haven't seen Super Mario.
Haven't either.
You're missing out.
I So it was so funny. So spoke to a gentleman in church, a mutual friend of ours, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you get your wife and I'll get my wife. We'll go see Super Mario Brothers." He's like, "Oh, bring the kids?" I said, "No." Like it wasn't even a thought. He was like, "No, for us." He's like, "Well, the point of it is to take the kids." I said, "Well, we can't go together then."
Yeah, no. You clearly missed the point, sir.
Yeah, I was like, my point was the double date, no kids. But yeah, so that's one I got to see. What else is upcoming?
I saw Creed
I saw that Mamba.
3.
Yeah, Mamba. That was actually.
I liked it.
It started
I'm not,
slow.
I'm not saying it was a bad movie. Not saying it was a bad movie. It's just like it lacked that punch. Get it?
Yeah, we got it.
He's like straight staring. Like I can't even do that face. I don't know. It lacks something.
No, I felt it like the last 15, 20, 30 minutes maybe was very, very good. But everything building up to that to me was just very, very slow.
You ready for Strays?
Yes, with Will Ferrell.
Jamie Foxx and the
Yes.
dogs.
They released a new trailer for The Flash today.
Mm.
Need to watch it. There's a lot of Michael Keaton's Batman in there. I think it's gonna be really good.
Elliot will be happy.
I absolutely will be happy.
And I did read that it takes 30 years after Batman Returns.
Yep.
So that's interesting. The timeline, you can kind of put a little bit together. What else? What other movies are coming out? I'm trying to look quick.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Across the Spider-Verse. With Miles Morales.
Transformers.
Beasts.
I bet you that's gonna be good. That's gonna be really good.
There's a three movies in June.
I thought you were gonna say there's 3 best. No, Elliot. Don't you hit that button.
What else?
I want to see. Y'all. I don't know if y'all saw the trailer for the one with Nicolas Cage when he's Dracula. The reviews have been fantastic for that. What's that called?
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it, but I do know what you're talking about.
I want to see like nefarious or like a weird word. Renford. I'm close. That looks absolutely amazing.
Is Shrek 5 coming out in May?
I have not seen anything about Shrek.
Did I just see that correctly?
Renfield.
The reviews are absolutely fantastic and people are loving it. So
let's see here.
Shrek 5 comes out. It says May 20th.
what? I haven't even seen a trailer for that. That's not even on the IMDb release date. I'm on May 20th. It's not even showing.
Yeah, I don't.
How about
Maybe they pushed it back.
How about Extraction 2 with Chris Hemsworth? I liked Extraction, the first one. So that was pretty good.
I thought he died in the first one.
Yeah, I don't even think they've. Yeah, there's no date for Shrek 5.
Indiana Jones, end of June.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Hulu movie remake, White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, did you see the trailer for it?
What?
No, so it's legit been a thing.
I never knew. It's Hulu. I don't watch Hulu.
Jack Harlow plays Woody
Okay.
Harrelson's character, and the guy that plays
Got Lance Reddick, Kenya Barris, Miles Bullock.
Wesley Snipes' character plays in some other stuff. I've recognized him, but
Jonathan Majors?
No. But the trailer, they just released a trailer like a few days ago, and it looked fantastic.
So
Like it looked like a reboot, not like House Party reboot. Like it looks like it would be good.
So is there any way, shape, or form we get a mention or a cameo of Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, right? There has to be, right? They're still alive. They're not in jail.
I could see that.
They have to be, right? Okay. Insidious the Red Door is the name of the movie. For that Joyride movie looked hilarious too. Trailer for that came out. Anyway, Elliot, we got a PCW coming up in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, we got May 13th, excuse me. We have incoming, and I forgot to put it in here.
That's all right.
PCW Faces of the Future. You can grab tickets over at pcw.ticketsbuy/Faces of the Future. Got an exciting card for you. We'll be releasing appearances, matches, etc. over the next couple of weeks here soon. Be sure to get those tickets. VIP wraps up what? Today.
Well, to get your tickets on time. Or your
Shirts.
t-shirts.
Yep. So any other VIPs bought up until time show starts, those t-shirts will be delivered. Are available for pickup at the next show, or
We can prearrange.
we'll make arrangements with you on delivery or pickup. So what else?
NFL draft this Thursday.
Yeah, NFL and there's been a lot of
Aaron
trash.
Rodgers,
To the Jets.
signed, sealed, delivered. Following in the footsteps of Brett Favre. Next thing you know, he's going to the Vikings.
That's saying, he's screwing people in Mississippi out of money.
DiBiase Jr.
Nah, I am excited about the trade though.
He's going to tear
I'm
it up.
curious to see how he's going to do in New York.
He's going to murder it. Is what he's going to do.
But it was it was an unexpected trade, but it was still big news when it dropped like officially, and a lot of people just thought it was going to be like the Jets trading a good bit to get him, and they did. But I mean, they traded Rodgers, they traded for Rodgers and Green Bay's first round pick this year, and traded their first round pick, like a second round pick, and then additional second or first next year. If Rodgers plays over 65% of the snaps as a first next year, but wasn't as much as I thought they were going to have to give up.
I'm all eyes on that running back dude that everybody's talking about. I can never say his first name.
He's from Texas.
Bijan.
Bijan.
Like Dijon mustard, but would it be?
No, it's not spelled the same.
But it's pronounced the same. Is what
Pronounced
I'm
the
saying.
same.
True. I get it. Yeah, like where do they predict him going?
I saw
like
one
top 10, right?
One saying to the Falcons at 8.
Mhm.
A lot of people have the Eagles taking him at 10.
CJ Stroud, who was like the top pick, has dropped to number 2.
Yeah, I think pretty much Carolina's sold on Bryce Young. From what everybody's, however, I mean, I guess he impressed people, and they did some sort of procedural thing where I think Bryce Young agreed to stop throwing or something for people, or something that.
Yeah,
Bijan Robinson.
John.
Yeah, he's a muster. Heard a stat today.
Somebody trades up for him.
Heard a stat today about Bijan Robinson where he was 60 or 70 something broken tackles ahead of the closest running back.
which is pretty impressive, in my opinion.
I think somebody trades up for him.
I don't know. Running backs are like they usually don't go high anymore. I mean, I remember back like, what draft was it where like Ricky Williams? I mean, it was like running like Cadillac.
02? 01? Maybe before that.
Where, I mean, running backs were like
Ricky was heavy back in the day. It was a Saint, right?
5th in 1999.
99. He was a beefy boy, bro. He was thick.
And what?
Scary runner, though.
Cadillac went.
Carnell? Carnell Williams?
Went 5th to the Bucks. I mean, running backs used to go pretty high. The top running backs, but they haven't. I mean, last couple of years, the value's gone. I mean, their whole value's gone down. Their contracts aren't usually as high.
They get the piss run out of them in the first couple of years, and then they're not worth anything. Dallas is notorious for that.
But that's when their contract's low. I mean, that's when
they're good for 3-4 years. Move on. It's not like a franchise quarterback. Speaking of which, Jalen Hurts, what a contract! Oh my God!
But the crazy thing is the contract is huge. But like, did you see how much like the cap hit is for the Eagles?
I don't want to know. Well, I'd love to know. I hope it buries him.
It doesn't. It's like cheap. I mean, like cheap. I don't know how. Like, I'm like
how they structure
how they pull that up, pull that off.
They got Donald Trump running the front office.
Let's see.
Oh, that doesn't taste good now.
All right.
Oh.
So he's due $64 million the first year of his deal in 2024, but his cap hit in 2024.
That's the big number.
Will be 13 to almost because he's getting like a $24 million signing bonus. But it was like
it's all about how you structure things. They know what they're doing.
Like,
oh, sir, we'll get you your money. We're just gonna do it this way, so we can do this.
Like, so cap hit 2024 13.
It's amazing.
2025 21. I mean, it was like when I was reading the numbers, I was like, how's that even possible? I mean, he just signed the largest contract.
All about how you allocate the
NFL,
money.
But his cap hit at least the first couple of years.
And the key is doing the contract is getting the performance incentive bonuses. That's the way you do it. Hey, you get this, you reach this milestone, we'll give you this much. So what's the total value of that contract? 4 or 5 years?
5 years, 250 something million.
255.
Okay.
I mean, it's right around the same.
It's a franchise quarterback.
It's right around the same that Mahomes did. Mahomes was 10 years, half a billion.
Yep. It's a franchise quarterback, man. That's all right. So I go back to like when Dallas did with Dak. They saw Dak as a franchise quarterback. That's the going rate for a franchise quarterback is that north of $37 million a year deal. I mean,
Daniel Jones, they were trying to get him for 20 something, and he bet on himself. It was like, nah.
No, because he knows the value of a franchise quarterback. Even not Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers last year signed a 3-year, $50-something million a year deal with Green Bay. It's the going rate for franchise quarterback, man. That's the position you got to pay for. So
it does progressively go up. So
they backloaded it.
15 or 13 and a half, 21, 31,
go up real
45, 54.
Yeah.
54 is in 2028, but they were like, hey, that number seems high. And then it starts going back down. But then it's like,
it's genius.
I mean, salary cap consistently goes up. I mean, TV rights. I mean, NFL's business is booming. I mean, that,
well, and it also gives them a couple of years to reevaluate. Hey, your contract's about to do this. Let's restructure or get rid of you, move on. I like that. I don't mind the big money, man. Just like if you put yourself in a position to where you can move on from it.
What about the rumor that the Eagles might trade for Derrick Henry?
That makes both of us sick equally.
For different reasons.
Yeah. Please don't trade him to the East. Please, the NFC. Keep him out of the NFC. Keep him over there. Keep him over there in AFC. He's good. Right over there. But I would. The longer it goes on without anything being announced, I think it's just rumor
Tennessee North.
I don't think
Well, first of all, I know running back value is not that high in the NFL because they get run into the ground, and Henry has been a workhorse. But
he's guaranteed.
to me, it was the
1,800 a
same
year.
conversation we had with McCaffrey last year. Like Henry is the face of the franchise. Like if you see a team anywhere selling one Tennessee Titan jersey, like especially now that AJ's gone, it's all Henry. I mean, there's some other stars on the team. Don't get me wrong, but
And
Henry
he's the face.
is the franchise. Like
get
he is the guy. So like if you trade him, like it to me that just I mean I get it. It's about putting the best product on the field and stuff. But if they're in rebuild mode or whatever, like you still need like somebody to sell tickets. Like you still need some kind of star power. To me, when I saw the news, I was like, I
You
just
saw
don't,
it
I
because
just
of
don't
me? Did you see it
understand.
because of me, or you had already
No,
seen it
I'd
before?
already saw it. But
You didn't take the truth to it.
if they were gonna trade him anywhere, same thing with AJ. The Eagles would be the other team, the next team I would pull for. So that his destination I wouldn't mind, but I just don't think they should trade him.
Without concrete plans of what they're going to do to fill the void, regardless of what your emotional attachment to a player because of what they mean to a team, you can replace. They're all replaceable.
Yep.
There's nobody that's not
Oh yeah,
replaceable.
I mean,
So if you do get out and get a Bijan Robinson, right? That's so. I mean, he's top 10. He's projected top 10. I mean, you're going younger. You're going cheaper. Is it a bad move? Not necessarily.
but
No.
I did. So Titans have a new GM this year, and he came out yesterday because the report. A lot of people, even Titans fans, I saw his comment. And I was reading their comments to see what they had to say, and I don't think people were really connecting the dots. They were just like, so the report, the guy that reported the Eagles trading for Henry, it like came out at like 3:43 in the morning or something like that when he posted or something like it was bright and early. So the GM, because it's been a few days, came out yesterday and he was like, I woke up at 3:43 and was wondering, who's going to be there at pick 11? Because that's when the Titans pick. But like people weren't connecting the dots that he was kind of like,
It's a possibility.
joking with well, he came out and said no. I mean, he said, so they talked about Tannehill because there's like rumors that Tannehill might get traded. And he was like, we had a conversation with Tannehill when I first got here. He knows where he stands with us. Just kind of ended it like that. But it came across as if like he's our guy. Like he doesn't need to worry. Like we've had that conversation. Because he was truthful. Like they asked Kevin Byard to take a pay cut. Byard said no. But he hasn't commented on it. But when he was like, we asked Byard to take a pay cut, he doesn't want to do that. And then he like said something about, Henry being on the team and stuff. I don't see Henry getting traded, but I mean, who's to say? My thing is, to the new GM last year, AJ got traded on draft day to the Eagles. Fans were caught off guard, and the GM ended up getting fired because it didn't work out. So my concern would be if the new GM is like, hey, like let's make this trade, and then Henry goes to Philly and kills it. That's not good job security for him if he does the same mistake that last GM made. So I don't think he gets traded.
Anything to add there, Elliot? It was nice to talk about sports, and football season's upon us with the draft. So
Yeah, I mean, NBA playoffs are happening and everything, and
Jimmy Butler went off last night.
I was just about to go basketball. About the Lakers, bro. They firing, bro. They firing when they. I'll drink to that.
Heat's beating the number 1 seed. Lakers are going off.
Taking out number 2, 1 game away. Let's go.
it's Memphis.
Then
It's number 2 seed.
It's still Memphis.
Oh, somebody doesn't watch NBA.
maybe it was Memphis.
Yeah, maybe it was Southern Summer Nights.
Okay.
But
Where's the music button?
now, so that was basketball. Real quick on baseball. MLB started, and I can proudly say right now I'm number 1 in fantasy baseball.
He's the only team in his league.
Definitely not. I finished. This is the only 3rd year I've done it. I finished 3rd the first year, 2nd last year, and now I'm in 1st. So hopefully that'll continue.
Well, we're only 10 games, 12 games in a year.
Right, we're like a 5th of the way through the year, almost.
5th of the way.
So close.
5th? Are we that far ahead already?
It's almost a whole month.
1, 2,
Started
3,
late.
4.
Oh,
April's almost over. You got May, June, July, August, September. 6th of the way.
okay, that's better.
Yard cocks are looking good.
Scary. Championship. Scary. Yep.
Yeah, they've only lost, 7 games all year?
4. No, six. They lost 4 conference games. They lost 6 total.
They're
But
scary.
they just swept. Florida was ranked 3rd. They swept them.
They're looking like the team of old. I'm ready. I'm ready for football season. See if we live up to the hype.
Out recruiting in state.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's facts.
that's what that upstate paper said. Is that upstate paper? What was that? That Greenville paper. I don't remember what it was.
Whatever gets ratings.
So you're saying Gamecocks get ratings? Okay. Perfect.
I'm saying people write
go.
anything. I mean, it's all about Meltzer, right? Write anything to get a good rating.
Like, Clemson had 50,000 people at the spring game. Carolina had over 50,000 people at the spring game.
Speaking of spring game, how about Colorado in Prime? Coach Prime. I don't know what they call that spring game. They call it something else. Fantastic, bro. That place was packed. That was pretty cool. Coach Prime. They got what, 22 players in the transfer portal? Like, we're out. That was to be expected, though. You know, when he joined the club, he's like, yeah, guys, enter the transfer portal now. My job is to make you quit.
Yep.
So I think that's a team to watch. I'm gonna be watching. I hope they get like a prime game.
You know who they play week 1?
Let's go.
TCU.
No better chance to test you than that.
It's gonna be a good game.
Like that's gonna get TV.
They don't have
TV ratings. Like
have they announced if it's a TV like televised?
No,
It's got to be televised.
But the thing is,
Gotta be.
TCU doesn't have their offense coordinator anymore.
Let's see.
So he's at Clemson now.
They needed help.
Let's see.
They did.
Not a bad pickup.
Schedule. So that
That's
week,
gotta be a TV.
because they hadn't even announced like the time of the games yet for most of them. But that week, I'm trying to look and just see if there's any other. So South Carolina plays North Carolina. That'll be a good TV game. Carolinas. I mean,
Yeah.
they're playing neutral field.
I can't believe we're talking college football already. Oh my God.
Coastal Carolina plays UCLA.
Week 1.
Mm-hmm. It's just interesting. I don't really see any other like big blockbuster TV games.
Dude, that Colorado game, that's probably game of the week. Realistically. What's the date of that game?
September 6th. I mean, September 2nd. I was looking at number 6.
God, guys, shoot, it's May. We're talking 4 months away. And then it's going to be like 6 months away. We got to cruise.
I got to start getting in shape.
Yeah. Here. Anyhow.
I got a New York trip in between that.
That's right. That's exciting. First time in a big city? No. You went with your previous company
2 times.
Kids' first times in the city. That's gonna be fun. Anything you got to add, Elliot?
No.
Jonathan?
I don't think so.
All right. It's been a fun week, boys.
It has been. Guys, remember, go to
pcw.ticketspice.com/faces of the future. I'll help you.
To get your tickets for PCW Faces of the Future coming up on May 13th. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. And catch some Dynamite tomorrow night. And catch some NBA playoffs, football draft, college football, movies. We do it all. As always, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe at Lowdown Popcast on social media. My name's Elliot.
And I'm Shane.
And I'm Jonathan.
This has been the Lowdown Popcast. And as always, let's keep it popping.